Unfortunately, the financial markets are in a free fall this morning.
Womp womp.
Yeah, really. After you know who declared a trade war on countries around the world. Now, some Republicans are warning this might not end well, but he insists that it's the beginning of a new age of prosperity. Take a look.
My fellow Americans, this is Liberation Day. I will sign a historic executive order instituting reciprocal tariffs on countries throughout the world. Jobs and factories will come roaring back into our country, and you see it happening already. More production at home will mean stronger competition and lower prices for consumers. This will be indeed the golden age of America.
In the long run, we're all dead. Short run matters too. Nobody knows what the impact of these tariffs is going to be on the economy.
Anyone who says there may be a little bit of pain before we get things right need to talk about farmers who are one crop away from bankruptcy.
The consumer wins when the price is the lowest price. Tariffs raise prices and they're a bad idea for the economy.
Yeah.
Those are Republicans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a bad idea. I'm sorry. And again, if things were done in such a way where you could follow the logic, I would be all for it and say, oh, I really don't like this or I like that. But I don't know what he's doing. I don't like what he's doing because it affects if you are importing or you're exporting.
Yeah.
So if you make Prosecco, not the greatest thing, you don't want to hear about tariffs. You don't want to hear about it.
Whoopi Goldberg's biggest worry right now isn't the economy, struggling families, or everyday workers. It's her Prosecco brand. She went on a rant, claiming the markets are crashing and blaming Trump for decisions that could affect imports and exports. In simple terms, she's upset because imported wine might get pricier. But here's what she's missing. The tariffs she's complaining about aren't meant to punish wine drinkers. They're part of a larger effort to fix long-standing trade issues that hurt American workers. For years, other countries have taken advantage of the U.S. through unfair deals, and no one in Hollywood seemed to care, probably because it didn't affect their bank accounts. Now that the government is trying to bring jobs and manufacturing back home, Whoopi is suddenly stressed out. Not because of lost jobs, but because her imported bubbly might cost a few dollars more. Let's be real. This isn't about fancy drinks. It's about protecting factory workers, truckers, farmers, the people who keep this country going. Sorry, Whoopi, but some problems are bigger than sparkling wine.
Every Nobel Prize winners in economy are saying this is a bad idea. He knows nothing about the economy. He knows nothing about history because they tried this in 1930, and it made the Depression, the Great Depression, worse than ever. So he just decides, as a narcissistic disorder would, I know better than anybody. Forget about the economists who know better. Forget about people who know history. I alone can fix it. That's what he said one time.
And he also talks about reciprocal taxes, and I just ask, when you talk about how he's doing it, there are these herd and McDonald islands that are in the Antarctic that are inhabited by penguins and seals. Yeah. So I'm not sure what they did to us.
Vote.
Yes. I was like, come the midterms, I think these guys are going to be a little pissed off. But there are tariffs. I think the one reassuring thing was we haven't seen many Republicans break with Trump. And to see Senator Rand Paul actually push back, knowing that that resolution probably, it won't go through because the House won't take it up. He still went on the record breaking with Trump, and we haven't seen that from him. So in some ways, the cracks.
Hardly anybody, but it's nice to start seeing
Republicans now stepping up, a few of them. This is a guy, Trump, who bankrupted a casino.
2 casinos.
Okay. His university went belly up.
Trump University.
Everything he touches dies, and they didn't say anything then, and now it's all coming on them. And I'm sorry, and I don't have that much sympathy for these Republicans in Congress who did nothing.
No, but I want to continue.
Joy Behar went off on another loud rant, saying that every top economist thinks tariffs are a terrible idea. She also claimed that Trump doesn't understand the economy or history. But let's be honest, this is coming from someone who treats yelling over guests like it's deep political analysis. She even tried to use the Great Depression as proof, like bringing up something from the 1930s ends the argument. What she failed to mention is that Trump's approach is much more focused and not a repeat of past blunders. Then Sarah Haynes jumped in with a random story about penguins and seals in the Antarctic, like that somehow tied into trade or the US economy. That's the level of discussion we're getting from The View, off topic and out of touch. While Trump talks about saving American manufacturing and bringing back jobs, the panel's more concerned with silly analogies and tired talking points. And just because one Republican doesn't fully back Trump, they act like the entire party's crumbling. Joy then hit full meltdown mode, shouting about casinos, a university, and saying everything Trump touches falls apart. But if we're talking facts, during his term, the stock market soared, unemployment went down, and paychecks got bigger. She even admitted she doesn't feel bad for Republicans in Congress. No surprise there. On that show, the only good conservative is one who agrees with them completely. People are fed up with TV personalities who roll their eyes at regular Americans and mock anyone who dares to think differently.